Okay, I'd like to take a few minutes and just kind of go over the digital cockpit, the Hill Digital Cockpit, as well as the IPI controller and the iPad, just to go over some of the details that we don't always see when we just kind of look at an overview of the whole thing. I think it's important to kind of dig into each individual portion so we can understand it a little bit better and hopefully give you a little bit more comfort with the whole thing as well. So I'm just going to start one by one, kind of work my way through the system as systematically as I can. And just kind of talk through each of the different features. So I really love what they've done here. One of the things to note kind of right off the bat is the emergencies and the way that emergencies are displayed. So we've set it up right now so that there's a couple of emergencies that are showing. And so right now, what it'll always do is it'll show the most critical ones at the top. So it'll show you a list if you're gonna have multiple emergencies going on. It'll show you a list of them, and then it'll give you a warning. You can actually hide that warning, and then you can have it come back up again. And the warning is basically to give you a description of what you should actually do with that emergency. We also have that on the top bar here as well. So if an emergency happens, this will light up. This is just basically a bulb with a wire that shows the warning. But I think it's nice to have it on here as well to show exactly what the procedure would be in the event that you would have to follow one of those things. So nice to be able to have that. I'll hide that for now, just so it's a little bit more out of the way, and then we'll kind of work our way across. Probably the number one gauge that you're going to be looking at and seeing all the time, paying most attention to, is going to be your power gauge, and this is a first limit indicator. So whatever the first limit that you're going to be hitting, whether it's the torque or the TOT or whatever happens to be, that's going to be displayed here. And so you can just see that's in a percentage. If you're in the green range, then it's going to be green, obviously, the band. And then once it goes to yellow, which is your 5-minute timer, then it's going to go to the yellow. And then if it's red, then it's your 30-second timer or anything above that. So you can kind of see where that range goes to. And the way this thing is set up is that you're able to actually go to 100%, which is your full power setting, continuously. And so you're going to be able to use 100% of that power, which is the 400 horsepower, continuously. And then you can use the 440 horsepower, which is your 100 to 110 range. And that'll be for your 5 minutes. And then you go to your 30-second range, which is 110 to 120, which would be your 500 horsepower. So that's how it's set up there. I really love how it's done with the needle, and it's showing you that the arc behind it, following behind it, and then showing it in the middle here as well, where it's just giving you a digital readout. So, and you can see the moment it goes into a yellow or red range, it actually shows you the timer down there at the bottom, how much longer you have in that time range. So really nice to be able to have that. Just give me 30 seconds of your time. I want to invite you to the Hill Helicopters exclusive presentation. This is a presentation that Ruben and I do online. It takes 30 minutes, and we walk you through all the details, the specs, the performance of the helicopter, as well as the development stage that we're at. And at the end of the presentation, we give you an opportunity to pre-order the aircraft now under special conditions. If you want to book one, just go to hillhelicopters.com/schedule, and I'll see you there. Underneath, we've tucked the fuel gauge, and so you're going to be able to see that. You can toggle between different modes of how you see that fuel, whether it's in percentage or time or whatever, so that the fuel is there as well. And then it also shows at the very top here, it shows your range. So this is how much, based on the fuel that you have, how much range that you have there as well. So kind of cool. I really like the way that they've done this gauge. I find it so simplistic and so easy to use. This is your tacho gauge. So this is showing your rotor and engine RPM. 2 needles here. So we got a rotor on the inside and then the engine on the outside. Obviously they should be married up during flight. If there's a split for any reason, for engine failure or for auto rotation practice or anything like that, you're going to obviously see that split there. Down will be for low RPM and up will be for high RPM. I think that's probably the most intuitive way to go about it. So nice there. We've got some basic temperatures and pressures here for your fluids and your battery, etc. And so nice and simple to see there. Same thing. If they're green, they'll be green, and if they go red, then you're going to see that very obviously there as well. This is your outside air temperature up in the top corner. Flight timer, so it looks like we've been flying for 23 minutes and 24 seconds at the moment. And so you can see that, and then we'll kind of work our way across, and then we'll kind of get down to the bottom. So in the center, we've got our artificial horizon, nice and big, nice and visual with that background. The background is interchangeable, so we can have different things on there. We can have synthetic vision. We can have the camera feed, so we have multiple camera feeds that'll be able to display through there. And we also have an infrared version for if you're going to be flying at night that shows some of the infrared stuff, which is really cool. If you have the cargo hook and you're going to be doing long lining, there's a downward facing camera, and so you'll be able to actually see that displayed as the background of here as well. So really kind of a nice way to visualize what's below the helicopter, where the line is through that as well. So standard artificial horizon, turn and slip line there. And then above it, we've got our airspeed indicator. This has moved around a few times through the different iterations of the digital cockpit. I like this one the most. I like the style of it. I find it very simplistic, very easy to follow, very easy to see. And so I really like the way this is set up. And then it's got the digital readout there as well. So depending on which you prefer, if you want the needle for a rate change, or if you just want to get a quick look there at what the speed is, you can look at that. So this is your time here for timer. This is your range, like I said. Ground speed is here. So you got airspeed and then ground speed. And then down at the bottom here, we've got a traffic circle. I love this, the way this is designed. You can actually just touch it and then slide in and out. And then that changes the range that you're seeing. But you can see all the traffic that's around and how close it is. It's got a scale there for you and stuff as well. So this is just simulating us in a turn right now, and we've got a wind bug right here, which is pretty cool. Shows exactly where the wind is at any given time based on the data that it's bringing in. So really nice to be able to have that with your heading indicator there. So coming across to this side, altitude. This is another really nicely done one. I love the way they've set this up. So big digital readout in the middle for that altitude, and then the needle swipes around at the different altitudes that it's going through, and in behind it, this portion back here, it basically is cleaning up. So it's only ever displaying 1,000 feet at a time, and this is basically swiping around and cleaning it up. So you can see how it knocks it out. So there's 2,500, and when it comes out, it's going to be at 1,500, and so it's just going around like this. So you can see how that's changing all the way around, and it's just showing you whatever the most applicable is within that 1,000 feet there. And then your altimeter setting there as well, and I'll show you how to adjust that in just a second. But I love the way that this display has been done. And then you got your vertical speed indicator over here. So vertical speed indicator, again, if it's getting too high or too low, it's going to show you that in red. Otherwise, it's going to be in the green. It's really nice to be able to show you, again, a digital readout, but with the needle as well. So it's just a really nice combination between that digital and the analog type version. I like that. Just a little bit of media stuff here. So it shows you if you have any music playing or anything in the background here. Your time of day. If you want a timer, you just hit that, and then you got a stopwatch timer there, which is nice to have. And then any of your other indicators just on the left-hand side there. Then we get down to autopilot. So multiple ways to turn the autopilot on. This is one of them. The other one is going to be on the cyclic, and some of these knobs have changed around. So I won't show you exactly how the functions work on the cyclic, but I will tell you that you can turn it on the cyclic, and you can adjust your different modes and so forth. So on here, you can just tap, and that'll be stabilization. So it'll just hold the helicopter stable. That's essentially turning it on. And then you can have your altitude control, you can have your heading control, and then if you want nav, if you want to be using a nav that's already pre-programmed on the iPad, then you would just hit that, and then that would take over. You can see that there's a predetermined route there that was set up on the iPad. And so then, of course, it turns off the heading setting because you're going to be following that nav route. So you have the different options to select those, toggle those on or off, depending on what you want. So you're able to do it on here, you're able to do it on the cyclic, and then you're actually able to do it over here on the IPI as well. And so this one, you can see if I tap this one, I have all the different options there. So there you can see for heading, you can go ahead and punch the heading in. Barometric pressure, so we can go ahead and change that however we'd like to, and we can adjust that one. And then transponder as well, so you can punch in whatever code that you want, and you can have that, and that shows up over here as well. And then you can always tap it here. If you need to have ident, you can ident it there, which is easy enough. And then once we get over to our COM bar, there's again multiple different ways of selecting frequencies and punching those in. So one here, we've got COM 1, COM 2, and if we just hold this down, then it's going to show us our different options for where the nearest airports are, or the recents. So we can see here, there's some recent ones or favorites. And so we can have a look through there and see which one we prefer. We can just go ahead and tap on that, and then it shows up there. And with the cyclic, you can do all the same stuff as well. And then you can flop that over to the main display. So hit OK there, and then that'll flip. You can actually swap it like that there. And then you can select COM2 if you want to, or COM1. If you just hold and drag, then you can adjust the volume. So same thing here, hold and drag, and you can adjust the volume. And then on the side here, you can actually touch the side, and then there you go, and then adjust the brightness of the screen. So it's not set up to adjust it right now, but this will be able to adjust brightness there as well. So if you're flying in more dim conditions, you're going to want to be able to crank that quite a bit down. So on the iPad, so you can adjust things on here and set up a route, for example, say that you want to fly direct there, and then if you're selecting that, then it's going to end up, you can see here, we're getting a route there. And then if we have our nav on, then it's actually going to be able to pop over onto here, and then you accept it on this side over here as well. So that's good. And down here, we've got a couple more things to look at, not too much, but we've got a crew setting, all setting or isolate for our audio panel. So if you're wanting to see that, depending on which option you want there, you can select those. And I believe that's pretty much it for the main display stuff. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Bit of a technical walkthrough on this one, but I think it's nice to be able to see it close up and be able to just kind of play around with it a little bit. It's something that I think you guys are going to really, really like it. It only takes 5 minutes and you get totally comfortable with it. People ask all the time, I don't know, it looks complex. I'm not sure how hard or easy. I want to, maybe fly it on a simulator to get used to it. Honestly, you're just going to spend a few minutes and you're going to be looking through this, and you're going to have total comfort with it. Hop in, go flying, and even if you haven't been flying in a long time, maybe it's been a month or two or something and you haven't gone flying, I promise you're going to be able to hop in here and feel totally comfortable and confident to go flying and know exactly what you're looking at and having the information displayed to you in a really, really nice way. So I love it. I think you're going to love it as well, and hope you like this video, and we're going to talk to you on the next one. See ya.